It's a pleasure to have you here once again. This is the Niger Ombudsman channel. And like you know, it's all about better Nigeria, a better Africa, and a better world generally. I want to say thank you for those of you who had recently subscribed to my channel from the video on Niger situation. I say thank you. And to all my other subscribers, I really appreciate you guys. And please, if this is your first time here, please, after watching this particular video, please let me have your comment. I really appreciate your comment because that is part of what we make what I'm doing better. And also, like you know, the purpose is to have a better Nigeria, a better Africa, and a better world generally. So your comment will be very well appreciated. If you like the video, please go ahead and press that like button and also subscribe. Today, I'm looking at three main issues. If I have time, I will touch on another one, but the main issues I'm looking at today is the stoppage or the attempt to stop the Ifa worshippers to have the Isese festival in Kwara State. Then the second one is the hashtag all eyes on judiciary of Nigeria. And then the last one is the one that has to do with former Governor Oshiomole's comment. The interesting thing about God, the reason why I love God so much is the fact that he has given everyone the opportunity to make their choices in life. That is the interesting thing about God. But sometimes we human beings want to play God. We want to dictate what people can believe or what they cannot believe. Before I go further, I want to say that I am a Christian and that is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. But as a Christian, my own role, because of the experience I've had with God, is basically to share my faith with people. But I cannot force it down other people's throat. I can only tell people why I believe God and why it will be also important for them to come to know the God that I serve through Jesus Christ. But the issue with the Isese festival, the Isese festival is a festival organized by people who worship the Ifa. Ifa is one of the gods that people worship in Nigeria, and there are many who believe in that and are part of this um, religion all around the world, and they gather in designated places to celebrate their festival. And this particular year, they intend to celebrate it in Kwara State. Kwara State is one of the states in Nigeria. It's in the central part of Nigeria. But now the Islamic clerics, the so-called Council of Islamic Clerics in Kwara State, are saying that the Isese festival cannot hold in Kwara State because they perceive it that it's going to be it's going to bring a threat to them. And the reason for this, of course, we know is from a religious perspective. And surprisingly, the police have even asked the people to relocate the event from Kwara State. And the last time I checked, Nigeria is still a secular state in the sense that whatever you believe, it is ingrained in the constitution of Nigeria that you can believe in whatever you want to. So there's freedom. There's freedom of belief in Nigeria. So whether you are um, a religious, whether you are a traditional worshiper, whether you are a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you are a Hindu or Buddhist, whatever you believe in Nigeria, you are free to practice it as long as you do not become a nuisance to someone else. And I'm surprised that the Islamic clerics or the so-called Council of Lamas in Kwara State are coming out to say that the people, these Ifa worshippers, cannot hold their festival in Kwara State. They do not have that right. And I must say that, you see, for some time, the Muslims have come to have to they have come to be given an edge over other people. in Nigeria. And that is very wrong. The Islamic clerics have no right to dictate what anyone can do or cannot do in any state of Nigeria, just like other people in other religions cannot, as long as these people are holding this festival in a location that they are not constituting a nuisance to anybody. And it is the role of the police to ensure that these people are protected. It is their right to worship whatever they believe. At the end of the day, everyone will get to face the consequences of whatever they have believed in. As a Christian, I will not say because I'm a Christian, other people must become a Christian. My own duty is to preach to them. If they receive what I'm preaching, fine. If they don't receive it, fine. But I desire that everyone will become a Christian. But I cannot say that because I'm a Christian, others must become Christians or must be forced out of the vicinity where I am because what they believe in, maybe it irritates me. No. And that is what the police should step out to protect, because every Nigerian has a right to practice their religion wherever they find themselves. Because it's surprising, the Muslims want to establish themselves in different places. But whenever people of other faith want to establish themselves in locations where there are more, it becomes a problem. Even establishing churches. For example, look at the north of Nigeria. If you are establishing a church in the north of Nigeria, in many states, you are given a location outside the central, the center of the city. You are given locations on the outskirts of the city. Whereas if they come to the south and other parts of Nigeria where Christians are predominant, they want to establish themselves in the center of the city. This kind of double standard must stop and it must not be allowed. And it's a failure on the part of the police to say that the people should relocate their activity outside Kwara State. It is not, it is against the law, the constitution of Nigeria. And it's surprising that Abdulrazak, the governor of Kwara State, has kept quiet in all this. He must speak now before things degenerate, because we have seen the excess of these Islamic clerics and even some of the Muslims in Kwara State for quite some time now. I want to move to the other issue in this video that has to do with the all eyes on the judiciary. This hashtag has been trending because of the case, the presidential tribunal case that is before the High Court. Sorry, that is before the court, and you know that the presidential elections in Nigeria became a mess because of the activity of the INEC and the APC, and because of the massive rigging. Peter Obi, who should have ideally have won the elections if everything was organized well, things were manipulated, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC surprisingly emerged as the winner of the election. Now, Nigerians, some of them who are abroad, have sponsored some billboards in Abuja, and they are in strategic places. And now the billboards are now being taken down because, according to the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, the ARCON, under the leadership of Olalekan Fadolakbo, has started to take down the billboards because, according to them, the billboard is perceived to be blackmailing the Presidential Election Tribunal. And also, they say that it is controversial and capable of instigating public unrest and breach of public peace. How this is the case, I really do not know. If we look at the Kenya election took less than 21 days. The court case took less than 21 days. And all eyes was on Kenya during that period. I followed the court case. I followed it very closely, just like many people around the world. And indeed, at that time, all eyes was on Kenya. And so, while with the hashtag and the billboard displaying all eyes on the judiciary of Nigeria, why would it be perceived to be blackmailing the Presidential Election Tribunal? As long as they are doing their own work. In Kenya, there were a lot of comments, but the Presidential Election Tribunal, they were not perturbed by whatever people were saying or whatever was being posted. They were focused on their job. So if the judiciary, the judges involved in this particular case, if they believe they are doing or they are going to declare what is right at the judgment, why would they be perturbed? But of course, they are not the ones who have taken the billboard down. We know where the orders came from. This is the APC at work. And so for me, I believe that Olalekan Fadolapo, the Director General of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, have overstepped his bound, because in Nigeria, there's freedom of speech. And so the taking down the billboard was, in my own case, partial, because they are basically dancing to the tune of the APC that is still in government today. And even to the extent that the director and the deputy director of in charge of regulations have been suspended. And they say that pending investigations. What are they investigating? What exactly are they investigating? Nigerians, every Nigerian, even those who are people around the world, all eyes are on the democracy of on the judiciary of Nigeria. So whether anyone wants to pull down a billboard or not, that does not in any way change anything. The eyes of the people around the world are on the judiciary of Nigeria, because the outcome of this particular case is going to determine a lot of things in Nigeria and in Africa. And so, whether the billboard is taken down or not, the hashtag all eyes on judiciary of Nigeria still stand. The judiciary of Nigeria should learn from the judiciary of Kenya how they went about their case, how smooth everything went. The dates were given and everything was, they followed according to the schedule that they gave to the people. And so the judiciary of Nigeria, this is not a time for you to play any hanky-panky game. All eyes are on you. And whether APC likes it or not, in the sense that they want to continue to promote the confusion they brought into Nigeria, whether they like it or not, the illegality that took place in February must be corrected. All eyes are on the judiciary of Nigeria. I'll go to the last one that I have, the last matter, and that has to do with the comment of Oshiomole. Oshiomole said that Buhari spent 96% of national income on servicing debt. Well, if he did that, that is the house that they built. Because when Buhari came into office in 2015, his cry was he was going to fight corruption. His cry was that he was going to set Nigeria right. He even wept on national TV. But at the end of the day, after 8 years in office, we could see that Buhari's administration turned out worse than the government he said he was going to do better than. That's the government of President Goodluck Jonathan. The Buhari's administration messed up greatly. Never in the history of Nigeria have we seen the kind of corruption we saw under Buhari and now under under Tinubu. If we look at Oshiomole, who has made this particular comment, Oshiomole has been constantly defending those who are in his own party, he strongly defended Buhari and his policies. And now he's now saying that Tinubu has inherited an economy where revenue is barely able to meet the needs at hand. You see, it was what Tinubu put himself up to. He said he was coming to fix Nigeria. And Oshiomole has said that Tinubu is not a magician. You see, whether Tinubu is a magician or not a magician, Nigerians do not care. He signed up for this, though he's there at the moment illegally, but it is what he said he was going to do. And so Oshiomole should not come to begin to make excuses for anyone. It was the same thing he did during the 8 years of Buhari. And Oshiomole, if I must say, the fact that Nigeria is spending 96% of its revenue in debt servicing, how did Nigeria get to this point? We have seen cases where Nigeria is borrowing money to pay salaries. And most of this money that is borrowed is being siphoned by the greedy and reckless political class of Nigeria, to which Oshiomole himself belongs. Oshiomole today is receiving 2 salaries. He's getting salary as a former governor of Edo State. And also he's receiving all kinds of benefit from Edo State. And now he's in the House of Senate. And this is the trend we have seen. What is the salary that he gets from Edo State? What is the salary that others are getting from their former states? Oshiomole took 75 million naira loan, which is still being serviced by Edo State government today, signed by Buhari. These are all part of the reasons why Nigeria is in the mess it's in, because of the greed of the political class of Nigeria, to which Oshiomole belongs. I think the best thing, because Nigeria is too rich, too wealthy to be in this mess we are in. The reason why Nigeria is in this state is because of the greed and lack of vision of the majority of those in the political class of Nigeria, to which Oshiomole belongs. We don't even need a House of Representatives. Why can't we have a unicameral type of government where we have just a Senate? Why can't we have a unicameral system? So I believe that if we have to fix Nigeria, the politicians of Nigeria have to fix themselves, beginning from Oshiomole himself, who is making excuses right now. If Tinubu knew that he could not fix Nigeria, then he had no reason to run for the presidency of Nigeria. So, fellow Nigerians, and to all those who are interested in the affairs of Nigeria, for us to fix Nigeria, the politicians must fix themselves. And we Nigerians must demand accountability from them. May God bless you. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.